Cookies, again, just doing work here. He did work the first game of Monkey King. He's doing work here on Demented Shaman, and it is causing a lot of issues for FYKU. So as God Compass is over here for FYKU in the sense of just team fight, it is definitely it's one of those cases, though. It's in theory, it is great, but at the same time, it's when it's in practice, it takes quite a bit of effort. So
they are in a huge deficit right now, about 10K gold, 11K experience. But look we got Shroud coming up in 100.
Yeah.
Portal Keys up on Tempest in 300. Portal Keys up and finished onto Flux. Portal Key you can't buy it on Keeper of the Forest as well, so we might actually see this all come out and play out. Come on, buy it, Keeper.
It is possible.
Buy it, Keeper. He does have the gold. What? What? Doombringer?
Okay, here's the thing. So, well, by the way, Flux, no, that's just an illusion.
He's going to give the Doombringer to Gladiator.
Exactly. There was a word of this. I did hear, so I kind of shrugged it off as maybe just being a joke. But there was word from FYKU saying, all-in Doombringer Gladiator, just saying, something like that. Of course, again, I like snuck it at that. I'm like, yeah, that would be fun. Apparently, that's actually what they're doing. Keeper of the Force just picked up a Slayer. He's going to be making a Doombringer, get himself killed, or I guess, yeah, so get himself killed and then
it's going to take a long time for him to get that Sword of the High. And in the meantime, they're going to have to play this really passively. And by the time he gets it, it's going to be like a 25,000 golden experience lead, I would imagine. So, yeah, I mean, the tower's going to get pushed. You can't do anything because you have a Keeper of the Forest with a Slayer. So they might still be able to get the combination off with Tempest and Flux, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Tempest has her Portal Key in about 50 gold there, has it after converting those creeps to elementals. And they can still get that combination off. But this is going to be entertaining if they actually pull it off.
It really is funny, though, because it's a case of, again, I understand it. They want to just have fun. They're trying to provide some entertainment. And it is a fun idea, and it is going to be cool if it somehow happens. But at the same time, you were saying, if Keeper of the Force actually won a Portal Key there, they would have had 3 Portal Keys right now. They had the Assassin Shroud finished on Gladiator, and they have this crazy teamfight lineup. They honestly still have a very good chance. But, going that, as you said, Keeper of the Forest, it loses a lot of his Team 5 potential of being a better assistant for the team. I mean, sure, he could still definitely help out. He still has the invis, being able to sneak up in there and get some decent positioning himself, but it is kind of unfortunate at the same time. But at the very least now, you got to hope that he gets that 3,400 gold for the Sword of the High, and then, of course, can get that to Gladiator, who will definitely hit like a freaking truck. So Deadwood is currently near the Legion team. He is invisible, though. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, he just one-shot Glacius. Glacius literally has no items other than the Homecoming Stone. That doesn't give you any stats. So, in fact, they're going to try to take advantage of this. In comes the kill for the pitfall going to be placed out there right there. And Willstone bubbles the trample. It's everyone, though. Is this going to be a turnaround, though? Here comes the Keeper of the Force. There's their Gladiator ultimate. Where's the Tempest ultimate? You see Gladiator doing some damage, but just not nearly enough. Tempest was already picked off, so that's why it didn't even come out. And the Legion team is just falling apart. So, like you said, I really think it's a fun idea, but I just don't think they're even going to get there in the first place.
Yeah, Tempest just died immediately, and I agree. You don't have even boots up on Glacius. He literally has nothing but a Homecoming Stone. And while it would be fun to see this combination, it's almost like, hey, let's ask the returners if they can please stand there for a moment, and we can see this combination come out, because it sure would be fun to watch. But like I said, when you talk about counters or strats or things like that, it sounds good on paper, but practically not necessarily the strongest idea.
Yeah, we're talking about top level players here. You know, these are players that, of course, the great instincts when it comes to, realizing what's going on and taking advantage of that and being like, okay, well, they're going to look like general things, just very, very simple things like, oh, they have a very AoE heavy team. Guess what? We shouldn't group up.
Yeah.
In pub play, that will obviously happen a lot because, the communication just isn't there for obvious reasons, and it can definitely work. But at the top level of competition, teams are very aware of what's going on. So, exactly. It just keeps going back to it's great on paper, but in practice, it's not so much. So, the returners, they're looking to be in a pretty good spot right here, I must say. Obviously, up 1-0. We really stressed they definitely needed to go 2-0 here against FYKU. To have a decent chance, but it will still be in the hands of Q Squad ultimately, more so in Team Kierk, of them at least taking off one game against Q Squad for them to be moving on instead of Q Squad. So again, that series is happening right now. I believe by now, of course, they're in game number 1 as well. So, or game number 1 themselves. They did start a little bit later here than this series, of course. So perhaps even we'll jump into that one after this, or keep an eye on it. So
game 1 actually has finished.
Oh, did it? And
Q
it went
Squad
to
did
Q
win
Squad?
in a considerable fashion.
Okay. So there you go. There's an update. So game number 2 hopefully is going to be starting here soon, and well, it's going to be interesting. But again, the returners, they at the very least they need to win here, and so they can't be worrying about that themselves.
If they do win, if the returners do win here, which I'm quite sure they will with the lead that they have, I definitely think we should jump into game 2 of Q Squad, because that's going to be very epic. That will say a lot. We'll have finally all the results in stone as far as,
and then we can talk about the matchups,
right, as far as the matchups and who's actually going to compete in those best of 5s early next week.
Yeah, of course. That's definitely a big part. Here we go, though. Initiation going to happen. We see Flux going in with release. Bubbles, a target of choice. Can he get a kill foot off at least? Yes, he can. Here's that turnaround attempt. The root's going to happen, though. Cthulhu charges in. Is Tempest even here? No, he's already picked off again. Down goes Gladiator. So what seems like such a strong team fight team, they have decent initiation, but it's just too much power. Over here on the returners, they're just too far ahead, both in golden experience. You see the smiley faces coming out. FYKU, they're trying their best just to have fun with this and try to make anything entertaining happen. But again, just the golden experience it's getting to an extreme point now. And Keeper of the Forest, he only has 800 gold saved up. He's died a couple times since picking up the Slayer. Still well off that sort of high to finish off the Doombringer. And it's as funny as it would sound. Even if he somehow happens to finish it, it just won't matter in the end. I mean, there's just no way with the lead that the returners does have now, will have eventually, that it's going to really matter. But they are going to pour it in. Try once again. Flux does still. No, he doesn't have his ultimate. I thought he did, but tries for the pull in, but returners won't have any of that. Tempest ultimate is still up, though, so maybe.
Yeah, well, Flux blinked in and ulted, and then they had the Gladiator pitfall onto just one hero. It was just that Bubbles. And that's like the one hero you don't want to go on. And they just simply need to get more people. The health power is applied, and that looked like a 3-shot onto Guayfix.
Wow.
And actually a lot of damage onto the Glacius as well. Cookie's in the front line just dishing out so much damage. There's a charge. It's actually going to hit Gladiator. Emperor is on a legendary streak. The Hellborn just completely overrunning FYKU at this point. Yeah. They're trying to look for both. There's the ult from Deadwood onto Ninja Pew. Champion Newerth coming out for Deadwood. One thing I didn't mention, too, were actually the ult coming out in the kelp field. It does spot. They're trying to get these trees killed, and they're going to find Keeper of the Forest, and I'm sure he's pissed off about that. An interesting thing to note is the Demented Shaman ultimate, how it synergizes well with the punch from Deadwood.
Yeah,
Can you think about it?
Point.
Oh my god.
Good point. And I think right there, when we saw Tempest drop so fast, I believe the Storm Cloud was just about to max duration. So at that point, he was minus a ridiculous amount of armor.
Right.
And that's why Demented Shaman was like, poke, dead. Like he died. It seemed like really just even 2 shots, if not 3. So very good. Look at Cookie's diving though well. He has a token alive. He's going to die. Oh, the Unbreakable. Never mind. He'll stay alive, so. All right, so we are in that point of the game. Oh, Tempest ultimate on top of the pitfall. Here's got to be. Will they even kill Demented Shaman? No, they're not even going to kill Demented Shaman. He's still going to survive. Finally, he goes down, but again, he has a token of life anyways. So he comes right back up, and he actually finishes a Sheep Stick. So a Sheep Stick Hellflower, he used it right away. He's going to get rooted right here, but he is pretty damn tanky and doing a good amount of damage. So if you're the Legion team, I'm honestly scared. Despite chasing him right here. He's going to be pulled back in, so Demented Shaman is in a little bit of trouble perhaps, but there's the Entangle applied, and look at Ninja Pew. You know, he's one of the right. Oh, out comes a Storm Cloud. That is dangerous. A nice Glacial Downpour, though. The Unbreakable is going to be applied. Keeping alive for now, but yes, they will kill the Raid Boss. Raid Boss is down. You see him calling for the team.
Raid Boss Demented Shaman. I don't know if I've ever heard that before, but that's the case. Yeah. Picked up the sheep, used it immediately. It's pretty fun. And then screams, team.
Team. Elder Parasite on Deadwood. All right, so we're at the point of the game now where it's obvious that both teams even. Now, returners, of course, they wanted to make sure to secure a victory, but they're also at the point of, all right, I think we got the victory. Let's start having some fun ourselves. So, of course, the talk and chat going on. Again, I really want to keep going back. You got to give so much credit to FYKU.
Oh, yeah.
Not only were they here to play this match, but they were willing to, even reschedule it to a little bit later to kind of help out the returners and make it happen in the end. So despite them going to ultimately be losing the series 2-0, it looks like, they finished off strong, and obviously when other teams didn't, going with forfeit losses instead just because they just didn't have anything on the line. FYKU, same deal, but they decided to play it out. So I really, but that's the thing about this team. Sure, they may finish ultimately 2-5 here in the group stages, But this is honestly a team I expect to see at the top level of Han Tour, if not that Diamond division, at the very least the Gold division, the next one up. So
yep.
I am interested to see how they fare. And I got the chance to even talk with them a little bit and get to know them a little bit better. And they are just very nice guys in the end, and that is no surprise. So Bubbles in the meantime getting jumped right here again. Can he actually get away? No, he cannot. He has quite the tools to try. Tablet, Energizer, Portal Key. But couldn't get away, so good kill there.
He portal keyed in, he shell surfed already, so the only possible way out was, and actually, oh, man. Man, just one shot.
That was Gladiator. That wasn't Glacius, that was Gladiator. Granted, he's not the most tanky either. I mean,
yeah. Well, I honestly think with a Storm Cloud, he could one-shot anyone. With a full Storm Cloud, I'm pretty sure he could one-shot Flux.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He has, Gladiator actually has another punch deck. Oh, I guess that's the Rift Shard. Yeah. I was going to say, is it going to be Codex? No, it's probably the Rift Shard's a Rift Shard here for him. But again, 1,700 gold on Cube of the Force, by the way, so he is saving up gold. It's getting up there. Nice Luna stun coming out. Tempest again. The return damage now happening. One more auto attack. Oh, he gets the entangle. Nice freeze though from Glacius, trying to keep him alive. Demented Shaman getting pulled back in. Demented Shaman will fall. Will that entangle still finish him off though? Oh, he went down to like 5 life. Wow. Aluna is going to run away, and she should be fine in the end. But yeah, keeper, 2,000 gold. So FYKU, got to give the credit for the commitment here. They're going all in here. Yeah, they really want that Lisa Doombringer to be picked up.
I don't think that actually Enzo yet again just punching him in the face. So much damage, but can't blame him at this point. It sure would be funny to see this combination actually all come together with a Doombringer onto Gladiator, who is trying to do that, massive crit into all 5 heroes. But even then, he got the demonic up on Enzo. He's got so much items, so much farm. This is looking at 30k gold and experience. It's just too much.
Yeah, it is. Anyways, so yeah, they're gonna try to. I have to hide chat at this point. So Flux is just gonna continue farming the bottom lane. Keeper of the Forest is gonna be jumped on by Deadwood, who doesn't really do anything. I don't know if that was on purpose or if he just really couldn't do anything right there, but he'll start falling back, and they're just gonna wait for another opportunity. 2,200 gold and counting now on Keep of the Forest. Just it seems like we have a countdown timer going on before the Sword of the High is purchased. Cthulhu Font Frostburn has been finished on him, so he is becoming that damage-dealing threat that Emperor likes to talk about. Playing that Cthulhu Font, he definitely is right now. In fact, jump in from Deadwood, who's going to go for Falcon Punch somebody. He wants somebody. Will he even get anybody? He's being mass slowed right here. Lockdown Glacius still somehow alive. There's a push out from Flux. I don't know if that was intended. Usually you want to pull them in that case. And Flux will just be taken out by the Falcon Punch. Oh, what a Tempest ultimate actually back we fix. Do they even have anything else to follow it up, though? I don't think they do. There's a pitfall.
Oh, my God.
It's just not enough. Yeah, Tempest just melted. Gladiator's going to melt. Again, as we keep going back to, in theory, it's great. But
the push was hilarious. Totally
it's set up for a great ultimate. It really did. It's set up for a great chance, but he's like, here's our one great chance. Push. Ah, crap. I forgot to press E first. Yeah. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, that
they're actually going to concede before, during, I guess really it's going to end anyway, so.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, the whole series, this game was kind of the more trollish type, but they did play it seriously last game as well, and we saw a lot of aggression from Monkey King, and that's ultimately, well, the whole team really, but that was a lot of fun to watch, this whole series. But we don't want to take too much time. We want to jump in right away because they're actually in the banning and picking phase of the game, so they haven't even started it, QSQ versus Team Kirk. And this is very important, guys. They, of course, Team Kirk did lose the first one, but they have one more chance to take a game off of them. All they need is one game off of QSQ. They don't need to win the series for the returners to advance on.
Yeah, so I actually went ahead and hopped into the game myself. So we are, as you said, they actually are in the picking stage. The locks have actually already happened, and they're already beginning the picks now here. So if we could actually go into the game now to see what's actually going to be happening here. So again, just going to continue this coverage. Obviously, we have Q Squad on the Legion side, and Yoho, also known as Team Kirk, on the Hellborn side. As you see their lineup, we got Mookie's Misery, Kento being on Cirque, and Lalon playing for them. And of course, Q Squad running with their A roster: SQY, Style, Nox, Malay, and Jonas and fan. But you look at Q Squad already and the lineup that they have with all the things that are going on. Draconis, Bubbles, Andromeda. That's a scary start. And Armadon, Demented Shaman, though, first picked here by Team Kyrk.
Yeah, the scary thing here that I feel like they're going to fall into a trap of is as a support Demented Shaman. Now, it can work quite well, actually, with Armadon. That in itself synergizes. That's probably one of the few times I think support Demented Shaman maybe could work. They're going to go with the Chronos, so that re-solidifies my thought of it. That is probably going to be a support Demented Shaman. Unless we saw... No, you're not really going to see a Suicide Armadon, so that'd be kind of weird. Anyway, they're going to go with Chronos. I do...
No, I'll take care of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I do know that Mookies does like to play Chronos a lot. The only problem with Chronos is I feel like he doesn't farm very quick, especially when you compare him to someone like a Draconis. And overall, just needs a lot more items to be effective. You need, say, if you're going to go that Runed Cleaver route, which we see a lot of Chronai do, you're going to have to wait a long time to farm after that. You're going to have to probably get a Shrunken Head, especially against this team. And it just requires so much farm. He's very effective in the late game. But can it get to that point? We'll have to wait and see. Draconis just farms so fast. They do have a squishy team, actually, with Bubbles, Andromeda, and Amphora. And so Armadon actually might have a number with them.
Yeah, you know, this is looking like more the meta game that we've hit recently, where now it's the complexity style, you know, that hard carry, the suicide, the very powerful mid that can move around, and then your jungle. This is more of the having a hard carry in Chronos, but also having a strength beefy hero in Armadon. And on top of that, they actually finished with Fade Devour, actually. And guess what? That means we're going to see Misery playing Devour. And the last time we saw that, it was Gary Johnson 2012 against Swindelmelons played Bubbles in mid. Oh my God, was he good! So I'm excited for that. More Axis though was a final pick from Q Squad. So talk about just two completely different style of lineups. I mean, Q Squad, they did go the typical. You know, again, it's pretty obvious with their lanes what they're probably going to do, or is it actually? I mean,
yeah, it's obvious.
It is going to be a 2-2-1 setup here
for
QSQ, I believe.
Oh, I think it's going to be a tri-lane.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tri-lane, Andromeda, Meraxis, and for a top, Draconis. Well, actually, see, the thing is, Jonas fan always goes that suicide route, but I actually thought they were going to go Pebbles, because I believe last game they had a tri-lane Pebbles. And I think it would make most sense to have a tri-lane, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, here's the weird thing with Yoho's lineup, or sorry, it's actually Team Kyrk, but I actually voted to remake.
No,
Maybe
remake.
They didn't.
No, don't. No, don't. No.
Okay, good.
That would just be wasting time.
Actually, Nox is DC'd, so...
Oh, boy.
Interesting. Anyway.
All of them were here. Okay, I guess they're just going to remake anyways. We almost worked it. Unfortunately, so obviously we are able to join games having secret powers here at us do games, and it allows us to do what we did right there. Secret powers. To do right there, where we can join any game that we want, you know, just to catch up on a game. It happens to already start. That way they don't need to remake it like they're unfortunately doing now, but we can just jump in and catch it on the fly. We also did it earlier in this tournament with, I believe it was TT Esports versus Q Squad, actually. We casted the second part of game number 2 there because we were able to jump right in after our previous series finishing. So, unfortunately, they didn't remake still, but they are going to be creating the game, though. It will be all pick, and we'll quickly get back into it. But, yeah, that lineup from Q Squad, it does look like a very strong one yet again. Yep. And as you said, obviously we didn't cast the first game of Q Squad, but it sounds like they won pretty handily. In fact, I am going to pull up the stats myself right here. Okay, so yeah, they were running their Pharaoh, Dark Lady, Aluna, Pebbles, and Andromeda, it looks like. Yoho, Team Kyrk, they actually went with a Scout pick even. Mookie's playing Scout, Fade, Bubbles, Tempest, and Voodoo Jester. So that is kind of a unique lineup there. Unfortunately, didn't work out too well for them, it looks like. So
yeah, I'm guessing they had a solo Pharaoh, a solo, what did they have, Dark Lady, and then maybe like an aggressive tri-lane with Pebbles. But, of course, that's just speculation, not 100% sure. Now, with this lineup, as we'll go into the game here for Team Kyrk, is kind of awkward, and I do fear for them a little bit in that sense because they have 4 melee heroes. They have Demented, I love how I said Demented Shaman, but they do have, they have that hero, but they have Armadon, Fade, Chronos, and their last one I cannot remember, but they have 4 melee heroes, and that's going to be kind of awkward in the laning
Armadon,
phase.
Devour
is the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to have to do a tri-lane, and it's going to have to be a support Fade and a support Demented Shaman.
True.
And that's going to be, I don't know how that's going to work out.
It is going to be a little bit interesting of a lineup, and that's the other thing too. I mean, it does feel like